Hello everyone and welcome to the table. So today we have a utility blade and this one comes to us from Screwpop. And so this particular model is called the Twin Trak. So we can just check it out. It's a very simple utility blade holder, but it is kind of unique, has some kind of cool features here. So I thought it was worth showing off in case you're in the market for one of these. But first off, of course, we'll say the price. This thing comes in at $10, so it's very much a niche budget item. So keep that in mind throughout this video. So what we have right here is a very keychain friendly, pocket friendly utility blade holder. And so of course it's very nice to have the tool on you at all times. And so I think that was really the idea, is that you go about your day, have this on your keychain until you need a utility blade. And the design of this one is kind of unique because we have not one utility blade, we have two utility blades, which I could imagine could be useful for quite a few of us out there. But let me show you the design. So it's a very simple style of holder, and it has these two tracks. There's a track on this side, we have a track on this side, big lanyard hole, keychain hole right there, and we have this clip. It looks almost like a pocket clip, as you can see. That is what's holding the blade essentially in the handle when you're using the knife. So pretty cool design, and we'll go over how it works. So again, let's say we're going to open up this side of the blade. You just have to lift this clip up and out of the way, and then you push the blade forward. And so what that does is it lets the blade catch in these notches on a utility blade. And so now the utility blade that was supplied with the knife has 4 of these notches. And so most utility blades will have, 2 of those, at least that I've seen. So just keep that in mind. There might be some slight differences between the blades included versus what you can buy readily at stores. I'm sure they sell blades like this, but I don't see them too often. So either way, for at least this included blade, that means there are 4 different positions that you can put the blade in on this holder. And so what's neat is once the blade is out, you can check out back here, we have 2 things. First off, we have a little magnet right there that's embedded in the handle. And so that magnet retains the blade when the knife is in storage. So that way the blade doesn't really flop around or anything if it was on a keychain, for instance. And we also have this little peg poking out, and that serves as a blade stop. So when you want this blade back in the handle, you just really have to pull on the clip and the blade falls right back in. So the blade stop keeps the blade from falling too far into the handle, and the magnet keeps it pretty much in place until you use your thumb to push it forward. And then of course our clip right here, the clip keeps the blade from pushing forward. So this is about as much movement as you're going to get when you're carrying the knife in storage mode. So again, you lift up this clip, you push the blade out to your desired length, and then you get to work. And so there are, of course, 2 blade holders. So it's essentially an identical tool on both sides. So this would be very left-handed friendly because, again, you have a side that works with this hand, side that works with this hand. And what's nice about it, it's so compact, but you do have 2 blades readily available for you if you are one who tends to go through blades quickly. So that's kind of cool just to have them, readily on hand. So very simple design. It's literally just a piece of stamped steel with the track on it. So it's pretty smart and pretty, they put some thought into it, and it's an interesting design. And it did come with a little carabiner. So you can, of course, use that to keychain it, whatever you want. And of course, you could just put it on whatever keychain you have, put a lanyard through there. And really cool design. And they offered to send this one to me. So in full disclosure, they sent this to me out of the blue. So I didn't necessarily have any idea about this product before they sent it to me. But I can tell them one area where they could definitely improve on this product. So you might have already noticed it in this video, but when this blade is extended, you can see that there's some play back and forth in the blade right there. So we can see right there, the blade slides back and forth because this holder is only a thin piece of steel. It'd be nice if this holder down there was a little wider to kind of accommodate that full notch. That way there would be no wiggle. So I think that wouldn't be a major change to the design, but it would make the knife feel a little bit more secure in hand. Because if you're going to hold the blade like this, as you use it, that blade is going to want to wobble back and forth. So I think if you're going to use this knife, you really want to get like one thumb right here and then use like pull cuts like this. And that way your thumb is holding the blade down, and that way it's not going to wiggle back and forth. And so that being said, I am impressed with the overall design, except for that one feature right here. It'd just, again, be cool to see that little tab wider than the rest of the clip. So that way there's less play in the blades. So I was thinking of, how could this be a useful design for those of us out there? So let's say, you carry your utility blade with you at all times, but there are maybe some times when you want to use a different sized utility blade. So like we have this hook blade right here. I always like to check to see if utility knives are compatible with these, because sometimes they aren't based on the shape. But what's kind of cool, again, you can put this in on one side of the track and you have your hooked blade in storage, whereas you have a straight edge on this side. So depending on what you're doing, you can use your hook blade, and with those two notches, you can get it out that far. So you can use your hooked blade, or you can put that away when you're done with it and then have your regular, straight edge blade as well. So pretty smart to have the two different blade designs in here. But overall, it's a very usable tool. And remember, this thing costs $10. So it's a very, inexpensive tool. It's the kind of thing you'll see at the checkout stand, at your hardware stores, things like that. So there are some competitive options for this out there. Although this niche right here of a keychain holder is pretty unique. I will admit that. But again, for $10 or a few bucks more than that, you can always get the very venerable, this is the Gerber EAB Lite. So we can see these ones just next to each other, size-wise right there. And so let me just go ahead and extend the blade out so you can see the size of these items. But the Gerber EAB, going to be maybe a little bit more than $10, but not by a whole lot. But you can see the size difference there. There are a lot of utility blade holders out there. Like right here, we have the Boker Cut Weasel. And this is kind of a recent release, but we can still see, again, same idea with this OTF out the front style utility blade holder. And even at the high end of things, we have like the Civivi Elementum utility blade knife. So there's a lot of different varieties of knives out there. And this year, 2024, seems to have been the year of the utility knife. There are a lot out there, and a lot of companies that have never set foot in this arena before are actually doing so. And so when it comes down to it, it boils down to a $10 blade right here. So for $10, this is actually, in my opinion, it's a pretty good deal, because it's a very simple design, but it's something that you have with you. And, common wisdom says the most valuable knife you can own is the one that's in your pocket, and this is one that you're more likely to carry with you than the expensive knife that you kept at home and forgot to bring with you. So I think it's a pretty cool tool. And I just wanted to share my thoughts on this one. But again, in full disclosure, the company sent this to me. I did not seek this out, but I was willing to give it a shot. And admittedly, out of the package, the loosey-goosiness was not my thing, but I can definitely see the utility of such a design. So hope this video is helpful. I'll leave a link to their Amazon page in the description if this is interesting to you, but could make a fun gift, the Screwpop Twin Trak. Hope you all have a nice day, and I will see you later.